Chatty House. We ballin', boy. We going up at the Chatty House. We talk about it all, bring the family out. Sub to the channel, hit the lights down. And we only going up when the lights down. Yeah, we just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party. We just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party.
What up, what up? You know what it is. What's going down? Chatty House after party after a little holiday hiatus. And of course, even in the alternate days, we pick a day where it's a game going on.
Of course.
Never fails. At least we're leading. Well,
by one.
Yeah, by one. I'll take the 1 point. Hey.
They were up by 5, and then I blinked and
I take that back.
Okay.
Yeah, down 1. That's about right. All right, I feel better now. It's where it's supposed to be at. Kings down by 1.5, 62-61. Although overall they look pretty good, I would say. I mean, defense has had some lapses, but they started off hot. Achua hit a couple threes. Everybody kind of got in sync. The starters for the Boston were struggling at first. Then the bench came in and started hitting all the shots, got them back in the game. But, you know, it is what it is. We know what it is. I mean, trying to piece two halves together, that's asking a lot. So would I be surprised if they got blown out in the second half? Absolutely not.
No.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they held a lead either. It's just never know with this team. So
right? Beat the Celtics? Of course they can.
Of course. And they're championship material, right? So
we're all the way back.
Yeah, all the way back. So I don't know. How was your holidays?
It was good, I think. It's over. New year.
It is over. Yeah.
I'm still here. I survived just barely, but I'm still here.
I hear you. Same here. I mean, you know, we usually just go to family's house for Christmas Eve. We chill Christmas Day. We used to go to the movies on Christmas Day, but nothing was really out that was like, I'm gonna go run out and go see. So
yeah,
we just kind of chilled. We thought about seeing. I haven't seen it yet, so no spoiler alerts. But we thought about going to see the Stranger Things finale in the theater because they had it in some theaters today. But I know we're just watching it later tonight. My daughter already watched it on her own, so F Daddy, cool. I guess. Yeah. So. So crazy weekend of football. Obviously, had to deal with Kenny, but it's a hell of a Bears night again. Niners fans, congratulations! It's good little sparring back and forth, and both defenses, like I said, look like Temu defenses. And at the end, your defense held out one extra play, and it's a good win for y'all, man. Like, we'll see what happens this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I guess we can look back a little bit on 2025 when it comes to the Kings. There's not much to look back at least nothing positive.
A lot of shit happened over the year, but
that's true.
Not much.
Well, I guess that's true, right? Because half of it was last year's season, so
right.
Kind of
still the calendar year.
Yes, the calendar year. You're right. I didn't even really think about it like that, but that's true. It was a lot of change. Brown fired, Fox traded. The whole team kind of flipped inside out, and not necessarily people leaving. Obviously, I mean the two big dogs, obviously with those two, but I don't know if we'll ever know if they really tried to move anybody else, and it just either was there were no biters, like they just asking for too much, right? I don't know, but they're all still here right now. I don't know how much longer. There's obviously been rumors going around regarding Monk.
Oh, that's my biggest success going into the new year. Malik is still a king. We made it through the year.
Made it through January 1st for now.
I'll take it for now.
But we got about a month and a half before the trade deadline. I think one of the biggest, at least for me, one of the biggest disappointments of last year, obviously they didn't think we all were hoping for them to play better, but we expected what we pretty much got. And once Brown was gone, I think there was an obvious domino effect to that, right? I think the biggest disappointment was more in once we accepted that. I think we just expected more when June and July hit for certain people to be gone. And it wasn't like we were throwing out pitchforks on who it was. It just had to be somebody.
Right.
And they pretty much stand pat. Added Dennis, Precious, who all the additions, it seems like quietly Precious is the best addition that they got. Like Russ too. My bad. I take that back.
Yeah.
Russ first, and then I think Precious. And then Precious was just kind of like a throw-in after everybody else. It was just like one of those 10-day, all right, we need a big, we're gonna add him. And then
what up, Ben?
What's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
Late to the party.
Well, I'm at my in-laws. So I just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year, and I hope you guys have a great show. You guys are gonna kill it as always, and just want to say hi.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Okay, bye.
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 But I don't think like if you Precious was just basically we needed another big. I don't even know if in their eyes they looked at it as more than just to hold the fort down for a little bit. And he's in the starting lineup now. I'm hoping he stays, to be honest. I like everything he does. I think he brings a toughness to the team. If he hits a couple shots, that's a bonus.
Right.
But they can use all the toughness that they can get right now. So, like I said, at the beginning of this game, he hit like 2 threes. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
He crashes boards. He plays defense. There's a lot that he obviously has limitations, right? But I think that if you're gonna overturn this thing, which I assume they are at some point, he's a great person to have around just to teach, playing hard all the time, playing defense, giving it your all, regardless of what your skill set is. So, and with saying all that and knowing that, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone. So, like that just seems to be that King's MO. But I would
alert, breaking news.
Probably like a adding in a trade where it's like, really, did you have to add him? But I do hope that he stays. I think going forward, he's still young as hell too. So I think he can develop with this team and be one of those cogs on this team for years to come. And not at too expensive either. Like I don't think he's ever going to get big money. So I mean, I think he's one of those players that you can easily justify a little bit of a payment there. So we'll see.
You see him in whatever Scott Perry's plan is?
I do. I think he's a Scott Perry type of guy. He's plays hard, plays defense. He knows his role. He never tries to do too much. So I mean, I think he's the perfect person he's a perfect player for any team, really, to be honest. But especially here, I think he'll have more of a role here than he would anywhere else. So we'll see how that holds forth. It's
2, Michigan. It's 2. 2 Team Tasha, not 7.
2 Team Tasha. Well, like now that you see this team kind of whatever it is right now, like who do you think has had the biggest impact so far this year out of all the newcomers?
For me, it's
Russ, right?
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's Russ. I think when they signed Dennis, we were still waiting to hear what was going to go on with Russ. So to me, it just made sense when they finally signed him. And obviously, Dennis starting the season in the starting role, and then they swapped positions. I think it's a better fit for Russ in the starting spot. But yeah, I think everything about him, his experience in the league, his vibe, his attitude, for the most part, most nights he plays really well. Like he's won some games. Couple of their 8. What are they? 8-25?
Right. Yeah, there's not many, but yeah.
Luckily we were at 1. I'll take that. That's a win, right?
Yeah,
the one game I've been to, they won.
For sure. Absolutely. You got to take what you can get nowadays with this team. So, I mean, we see what happened the last couple games.
Mm.
It's pretty
Ooh,
brutal.
rough. The Clippers,
That was rough, man.
that was so, to me, there just wasn't the compete. Like they just didn't show up. Get blown out by what, 35?
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I get it. Like I will say that, like I'm not defending it whatsoever, but I will say two things. One, um, the Clippers aren't as bad as far as talent, especially aren't as bad as what their record is, or they
Right.
shouldn't be, I should say.
Right.
And two, they've been on a little 5-game winning streak. They were kind of playing better, but even with all that, like you
They
should not
kicked
be
Chris
losing by
Paul.
45 to anybody.
Right.
So I
They
mean,
kicked Chris Paul to the curb and then now they're winning. I mean,
yeah, that's funny. I didn't even think about it like that either.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I guess he was really overbearing and kind of toxic, but
But everything they say he did, like
that's him.
not
That's
only
what
is
he
that
told
him, but I was like, I was just sitting there thinking about everything that they said. I was like, okay, what's the problem? Like you're losing.
right.
Like
Yeah.
everything he said is true. You might
Mm-hmm.
not want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a punch to the gut, but at the end of the
Right.
day, tell me one thing he said that was inaccurate. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everything he said was accurate. Like, so you don't like it. It was kind of like the whole I don't want to, who was it that was thinking about that from the Kings when they were talking about that? I can't remember what the player was, but even when Fox was like, brutally saying stuff like, well, ain't nothing he's saying that's not true, man. Like,
Right.
show me the lies, as the saying
Yeah.
say. Show me
Yeah.
the lies. So, but I also can get like if somebody is just constantly that's all they're doing, and let's just say that's what he was doing, then it does kind of weigh you down after a while, and then you start worrying on how that effect is on your team. So, obviously, there's a bunch of stuff they're not talking about. Maybe it'll come out later, maybe it won't. Who knows? But like I say, since he's been gone, they seem to have played better. So, I mean, there's justification in that too, right? Like, obviously, maybe they felt less of a burden to have to deal with that kind of crap. So,
Yeah.
whatever it is, they're playing better. But either way, like, you should not be losing. But even to OKC, like, nobody should be losing to anybody by 45 points. You're all professionals. You're all
No.
NBA players. You can
Right.
play better than that. So,
Right. And that's the whole thing. That's what we've been saying from the jump. It's a group of really talented, experienced players, but they just don't work well together. They don't play well together, and they can't figure it out.
yeah.
I think I was much more hopeful with what I saw from training camp. They seem to look really good and maybe figure it out, but nope.
So, I know we were doing Kaminga watch for a while, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got a new one.
Yeah.
I got a
Oh.
new one, and it's got nothing to do with another player. But I think we're on Doug watch.
Oh,
I
damn.
think
Really?
we're on Doug watch. I do. I think
Like during the season?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, one, we've always talked about, or even on D'Lo and Casey, they talk about, like, is he a Scott Perry guy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know he's a Vivek guy, but deep down inside, when Scott Perry is sitting in the darkness,
Mm-hmm.
sitting there with Draymond Green in the basement somewhere, nobody knows where he's at, is Doug his guy? Is that
Right.
who he's comfortable with, or did he just do the owner a solid and was basically, because in my head I also think, like, if Vivek asked him, like, hey man, unless somebody blows you away, can you consider Doug? And maybe nobody blew him away. He's like, you know what? It's a free year anyway, right? Because if the team does well, great.
Right.
But in reality, I'm probably gonna one by one get rid of these guys. Then if he can get some out of these guys, cool. If he can't, I'll hire my guy at the end of the year or sometime during the season if everything really does break. And I think when you have these 45-point losses, and the team's not competing, like, it's something that weighs heavy. Like, it's one thing if you compete and you're just not better than the other team, right? Doug has a team competing, they're in games, they just can't finish games, which there's a bunch of games like that, right? Where we see the disparity where they're playing hard, but it's just not a cohesive unit. And by the time you get to the fourth quarter, everything kind of crumbles.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, we know that's going to happen. We never thought this team was a cohesive unit. But when you're losing by 45, and that's just basically your players not giving a shit, then I do think in those moments, that's when Scott Perry is like, all right, man, this can't continue. At some point, I'm going to have to do something to shake this up. And that might be the first shakeup, other than a trade, right? But it could be a coaching move too. So like I do think to an extent, I don't think it's like red alert Doug Watch. Right. But I do think that it is something everyone should be looking at and paying attention to, unfortunately. I hope they don't. I hope they at least at worst case scenario give them to the end of the year and then make that evaluation. But even if we get to the end of the year, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence that Doug is back next year right now as coach? I guess that would be my question.
6, 7.
6, 7.
Sorry, I brought it into the new year. I was gonna say 7, 6 or 7. I really hope he gets to finish out the season. What about you?
I hope he gets to finish out the season, and I hope if God knows, I don't know if this is true or not, but if the plan is a total revamp and youth movement, then I do hope that he's back, because I think he's learning too, right? He's part of that youth movement too, to an extent. And hopefully he gets that chance. I can't, I know a lot of people like to judge in the now. And I think if it's a first time head coach, he's going to make mistakes. Yeah, he's going to do stuff. He's a rookie. It's just like watching a player, like a bad pass, ill-advised shot. Like, you're going to get that in the coaching aspects of it too, because he's a rookie. So I'm hoping to see some growth, even whether they're winning or losing. There's some growth that we see as fans throughout to the end of the year, when we get to that end, we're like, all right, man, I actually like your coaching style. I like what things that you're doing. You seem to be growing. I'm excited to see what you can do with this next incarnation of the Kings team. So that's my hope. Yeah. But in this day and age of social media and everything, I need everything now, microwave type stuff. Right. I'm not sure he'll get that chance, unfortunately. Yeah.
So Michigan mentioned it in the chat. Mike Woodson, what do you think of that? Like, say Doug is, I don't even want to say the words, but Doug's let go during the season, and then Mike Woodson steps in. Do you see
the veteran? I don't know I would love to know what his relationship with Scott Perry. I don't know what that is, like on a personal level. Maybe that's his guy and nobody knows. Right. I really I'm not gonna lie, I know this is kind of staying in the same realm of Doug, but if it's not Doug, because we talked about this before, I would love to see Bobby get a shot. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think that's a long shot, but I do think he has a little bit more experience. Obviously, he was coaching teams for a while, in Stockton, and then he went to Philadelphia. So he's been to a couple different places. I liked what I saw out of him in Stockton. And I know that's not the same as the NBA, but still, I did like his style, and he's there on the bench. Obviously, he came back, so I look at that as there's a reason for that, and because my worry too is if they do go brand new. I know we're a lot of us are at the point, not me necessarily, but there's a lot of people that are sick of seeing just ex-King players around. Right. Not to say for no reason, but basically just taking all the jobs. I don't know how to word it, but so I don't know if everyone wants to see Bobby back, or any let's say Doug's let go. Does everyone expect Bobby to be at this point? You're bringing in somebody brand new who's going to bring in a whole new coaching lineup. So I don't know, man. There's just a lot there. Right. I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Woodson picked up the slack, but I would hope that if Doug doesn't work out and you're going with the youth movement, just go with Bobby then, man. If you're going to go with the youth movement and not be Doug, just because how many veteran coaches last with the revamp? It's very rare that a veteran coach takes on a young team and is around for the long haul. Usually they get fired somewhere along the way, because with youth comes losing, right? So for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It's and shout out to Coach Molly. She had surgery. She's
Mhm.
recovering. We wish you the best. Hopefully, you get
Yes.
well soon. Shout out to David's family. They have a sickness in the family, is why he couldn't be here today. So, wishing well health out to his in-law. So, hoping everyone. It's not a great start to the 2026 season or 26 year for some people, but hopefully it gets better sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I don't know, and I know and going back to the players, I know they've kind of been. It seems like Malik's names came up the most in the last couple of weeks as being the first player to go.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know,
I have no
man.
furniture left. Going into the new year with no furniture. Breaking it all.
What do you think about all that?
I don't know. I still think his contract is too much. I just don't think anyone's gonna, not yet anyways. I think, very close to the trade deadline, some teams he might be a good fit. But I hate to see that happen. But if it's gonna happen, just rip that damn Band-Aid off, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's so crazy how like perception changes over a short period of time. At one point, like when he signed, it was like, oh, we got him at a bargain. Yeah, the biggest bargain ever. He just wanted to be here, and now it's like, he costs too much.
Right?
He costs too much. Nobody wants him. Like that's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Speaking of pizza guy.
Pizza guy?
Yeah.
Is he playing? I had to put on the college game really quick just to see.
You're like, forget the Kings.
No, I forgot it was halftime was over.
Put it back on because now they're down by down by 8. You change the channel, they're down by 8. Damn it.
It's right on point.
Yep.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So I just like I said, like I'm just sick of all the rumors. Like if they're gonna go, let's go, man.
Right.
Let's go. Also, yes, I don't want to get fleeced in deals, obviously. But at the same time, like if the choice is between, hey, we're not going to get what we want, so we're going to keep them, or should we just let them go and get the money off the books? I'm like, just let them go and get the money off the books. Like, I'm not expecting you to be able to get world beaters back or, top 5 picks or anything like that. Like, I'm assuming it's going to be, picks involved, money involved, maybe a couple players that either get waived or you can plug them in, but they're not anybody to be like, oh my God, that's the future. Like, it is what it is. You have, as a fan, everybody wants the perfect scenario. Yeah, let me trade Monk and get 3 first-round picks and a guy that scores 20 points a game. Like, let's be realistic, man. Like, I'll take a future first-round pick and just have the money off the books. Not that I think that's what he's worth, but at this point, nobody on this team is going to get you a treasure chest of gold. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to make a decision as a fan. You can't want the perfect scenario because there isn't. And no one's going to give that to you, especially in this day and age, especially where the numbers are right now, where the thresholds are with all the tiers and everything. Like, it's just not going to happen. No one's going to give you a king's ransom for anybody. This is not going to be a Rudy Gobert trade or anything crazy like that. Like, so I'm all good with getting money off the books if that's what it is. Westbrook 4 fouls. That's great. I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens. I can't say I do trust or don't trust Scott Perry, but I'm willing to give him a couple years and the benefit of the doubt until I see the end result after a year or two. Right? Like, no matter what it is, even if it's I said this before, like, even if I'm scratching my head, like, why did he do that? So it, man. I'm willing to let it play out and see whether I was right about my first initial thought or whether he knew, that's his job, not mine. So he should know more than I do. That's for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm still trying to be patient with Scott, but it's difficult. I still don't know what, I mean, I question if he knows really what the true plan is, but
Yeah.
he definitely has the right words and it sounds good, but
Hmm.
I don't know what that is. So
And,
patience to see it play out, at least like trade deadline, end of the season, where we're at. And then,
and I think the other thing you have to consider is, can you really truly have a set plan if you don't even know what you're going to get back for guys? You don't know where you're
right.
going to be at the end of the season. Like, you can't really have a plan
Mhm.
until all the parts are in place to make that plan come to fruition, right? So if, let's say, you can't get anybody to take Zach, Damar, even
Mhm.
Malik, and those three guys are still on your team after the trade deadline. Well, even if you had a plan, you can't start the plan right now. You got to wait till the off season and try to do the same thing again. So sometimes even having a plan isn't a plan until everything that's in place lets you start that plan, if that makes any sense. So,
Yeah.
you know, and that plan can change too if you're able to get more than you thought, or free up more money than you thought you could free up. And so that plan, like, plans change. They're always ever changing, ever moving. It just depends on what you can do with what you have. Right now, that's not much,
Hmm.
according to what people think, but there's also teams. It's one of the reasons why I like seeing the Clippers play better. It's like, okay, you're
Right.
playing better. You're putting yourself back into whatever, whether it's eight
Mhm.
seed, whatever. Cool. That means you're going to go out and try to get someone to put you over the hump. Cool. Well,
Mhm.
we got people right here, buddy. Right
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
So I'm standing on the corner with the stolen goods. Let's go. What you need? What you need? I got it for you. You need a score? I got that. Got two of those. So
I mean, if Malik has to go somewhere, Clippers, I don't necessarily know that they need him, but that would work. I'd be good with that.
I'm sure
I'll
you
take that.
would.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would. I think that would be a decent fit for him. I think the Lakers are, although I think the one reason I think his nightmare with the night Lakers before, it might
Yeah.
not be the place for him.
Right.
Uh, it's also a different team at
Same
this point.
with Luca?
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, it'd still be him coming off the bench, right?
I
So,
know. I know.
unfortunately for him, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's just, it's craziness, that's for sure. I'm not, until these guys start moving. I think this is what we're pretty much looking at, is some games where they're very competitive and they play well, and even if they lose, you're like, oh, they played well. And then you're getting the games that they surprise you and win. And
Yeah.
then you're getting the 45-point blowouts where you're like, what the hell just happened? You looked great the game before or two
Yeah.
games before. Where did this come from? And that's the roller coaster. That's the Sacramento Kings.
Yep. Back on that roller coaster this season. We thought
Yeah.
last year was crazy. No, they were winning at a much
Yeah.
higher rate than they are this season. So
Remember when the odds came out, and I think in the beginning of this year, I think it was set at Kings 35 wins,
yeah,
and everyone was like, "Oh, fuck you, blah blah blah!" Like, no way.
I'm
That's
taking the over. We got to
wow.
run it back and see what we said, because I know. I was so off. I mean, season's not done, right? They can still
Well,
turn it around. New year still
yeah,
gets.
they'd have to go on a hell of a streak to hit over.
No.
I think I purposely obnoxiously said 45 just to screw with people. I think
Yeah.
internally, though, I did think it was going to be like 42, 44, and 45 on the high end. I didn't see this, though. I
Yeah.
definitely didn't see
I
this.
know mine was over 50. I'll tell you that.
And I also thought,
Mm.
yeah, I also thought Neek would be way more developed than Max. And that seems to be the
With what we
opposite case.
saw.
Yeah.
Right. With what we saw in Summer League, Neek was looking really good. And we're like, okay, Max is going to need some time, but it's kind of flipped. And
Yeah.
I like what I see with Max. I really like that. The whole Max Russ connection. That's been exciting to see in his development. But yeah, I think Neek needs more minutes, and he'll be just fine.
I think so too. I like a lot of things that Neek does. I think sometimes he's just going through the motions, and that's what kills him. Um, I think him not really having a position. I think that hurts too.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, Max, we know what he is. He knows what he is. He's been playing, Now, the big question becomes once Sabonis comes back, what do you do? You play them together? Do you move Max? I think Max has earned the right to at least try to play them together. And especially if you're not like winning at a high rate, what's it going to hurt at that point? Like play them together, see what you got. I'm not expecting like the first 10 games of them playing together. It'd be the greatest thing ever. So I hope they don't just yank it because let's say it's kind of, fumbling at first. Like give it a minute. Like nobody gets chemistry on 1 or 2 games. Like let them run it together for a little bit and see what happens. They're both, I would say, especially Matt, like not to say Domas isn't a high IQ player. I do think he's a decently high IQ player. Max definitely is very cerebral. And I think that's why he's been able to grasp a lot of things right away. He knows his limitations. He knows what he can and can't do. And he's pretty good at sticking to what he can do. Hopefully some of the lateral defensive quickness increases a little bit over time and he gets a little bit more comfortable. He's rebounded at a higher rate than I expected because he's not been known for rebounding throughout his college career. And especially and then in the summer league, he was not. So it's good to see him rebound at a high clip. And I think between him and Sabonis, if you put them together down low, like that's a lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
That's a force to be reckoned with down low, I think.
Yeah.
So
where's Domas is still at what, 4 weeks?
Yeah, it was like 4 weeks, like a week ago. So 3 more weeks at this point. They're obviously I wonder if they had been playing well, like if they were a good team, like if he would have came back sooner.
Right.
But I think at this point, it's the kind of injury he has. It's not something you want to, because I think you come back too soon, you definitely tear something, and then you're done for the year, basically. So smart, it's smart. Don't jeopardize it. There's nothing he's going to do. It's going to be a miracle. To he'll help obviously, but
I unfortunately know that injury all too well. I tore my meniscus during the pandemic, and I didn't get proper medical care. Like they couldn't figure shit out. So I basically just waited while it healed on its own. Horrible. Terrible.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So it's definitely something you don't want to rush, even if it's minimal.
Yeah, that's what you said. And then, because usually at that point, if you're feeling a little bit something, you start overcompensating on the other leg. And that's when you tear the shit out of something. So,
my other knee was all messed up because I was favoring the other leg because fun times. I'm glad that's in the past.
And then I wonder if the other part of that too is wanting to make sure, because let's say he does come back quicker, he does get injured for the year. If part of your plan, again, we don't know, but if part of your plan too is to have Domas gone, well, there goes that trade. You basically have to give him away for free for anybody to take him while he's that injured if he tears something. So you need him back healthy. You need him to see him being productive, healthy, to make that decision, whatever that decision is, but if your plan is to move him, you definitely need him to be healthy to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So if he comes back, let's say 3rd week of January, even at the end of January, you're basically looking at 16 days, a couple weeks of him playing before the trade deadline. If your plan is to move him by that point, to let him basically showcase himself and see what you can get, because he definitely could help somebody. I think we all agree at this point he's not a number one, or he hasn't been up to this point. But you can't tell me teams can't use him. You can't tell me Golden State couldn't use him on the boards. You can't tell me even with a team like the Lakers, like that he couldn't elevate teams that are really hurting. You got teams like Denver. They just lost Jonas.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
they got both their bigs are done right
Mhm.
now. They're about to take a free fall probably for a little bit.
Yeah, and
didn't hear.
Aaron Gordon's out for
Yeah.
a good
And,
minute, right?
and I didn't even see what was wrong with Jonas. I just saw that he was out. So I don't know.
Sprain.
Hmm.
I got the alert.
So he's probably back before
I think
Joker.
it was like a 4-week. Yeah.
Jesus, that's not good.
Ugh.
I hope you clothesline that person. But yeah, like Denver's. I mean, I love that Denver team, but right now they look like the MASH unit, and so they're probably gonna. It's gonna be hard for them to stay afloat. So they're probably gonna drop a couple spots in the standings. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them. But again, like those are teams that like they need to be able to those. Denver's not a team that's young where it's like, okay, well, we'll be okay next year. Like, no, you're trying to win now with Joker and a bunch of those veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be willing to they might be desperate enough to give you something for Sabonis or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Oh, Nick's in the game, so it's I don't know. It's so hard to read. As much as we hear, D'Lo and Casey have their opinions, and then I'll glance on Twitter like the Styles and them and see what they're saying, and Jason Ross and all them. But I feel like with Scott more than the past, he's keeping everything under his vest very closely. We were saying that, huh? Well, not the
vest. No, he doesn't. He doesn't wear the vest
under his jacket. No vest.
Okay.
We've had enough vests. But he seems to keep everything pretty much tucked,
right?
Where not too much information seems to be leaking anymore.
No.
So I just can't tell. Like they have their poker face up, and I can't really tell what they're really trying to do.
Yeah.
Even with Keon, like it's so bizarre. Like Keon stuff is bizarre to me still. He's playing. Yeah. I see him right now. He's in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I do want to. I don't want to call it an argument, but I will have a discussion because I don't think I'm as on board as everybody else is. Mm-hmm. What do you see Keon as? If someone were to ask you what he is for a team, what is Keon?
A role player off the bench?
At a high level, at a moderate level? Can he help you win?
I need to see a little more consistency from him to say he's at a high level. I like him. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what he is, but I think he's what he is. I don't know that I see him elevating his game. What about you? Like, do you think he's reached his ceiling, or does he still have?
I think there's still growth there for a player like him. I think where I probably differ from a majority of the fan base is, while I do want to see him play, I do think he's earned the right to play more minutes than he has. I don't think he impacts winning on a team like Sacramento as much. Right. I look at him as like Caruso. Like you put Caruso on that OKC team last year, and is he the reason why they won the championship? Obviously not. But did he play a part in that? Absolutely. He played a part defensively and hitting timely shots at different points to help win the game. So I do think he can impact winning on a winning team, right? Because I think he's a perfect cog in the machine where he brings a lot to a team that's in that mode. But I don't think if you take him and put him on a team like Washington, insert losing team. Right. He's not going to impact the team enough. Every once in a while, yes, he'll have that 7 threes hit, great, fantastic game. Is that the norm, though? No, give me a break. It's not. And so I think that's where I in some ways understand the coaching staff and what they do with them, because I don't think he's a long-term solution here. I think he's a long-term solution on a winning team, but not
Right.
here. So I understand why people love him, because you're just looking at what you see here, even in a losing effort. But that's the point. Like, he's not going to, maybe long-term, that's what people are thinking. Like, oh, when they end up, at some point turning it around, you need a player like him. Sure. But when is that? And if you
Right.
can get something for somebody like him, then you just go get something. I mean this. I don't mean to say this with any disrespect, but it's going to sound disrespectful. You can find players like him. Not that they're a dime a dozen, because they're not, but there's enough of them in the league that you can find them, that you can kind of put somebody like him in, as far as, especially on a team like this. So it's a long-winded way. Yeah, it's a long-winded way to say it.
Yeah, trade him and then get a Keon Ellis-like player.
Yeah, you will eventually. And I'm sure
Yeah.
some people be like, you already had that. Yeah, I get that. But
Right.
if he's a piece that you can add if he's a piece that you can add to a trade to be able to make a trade, then you do that. Like, he's not somebody you just hold it. Like, that's the part, right? I think that was one of the arguments during the summer, was that somebody wanted him and they were like, no. It's like, bro, really? He's going to be the reason you don't make a trade? Give me a break. And you're not even playing him. So what's the point of that? It makes no sense. So no. And I really, no one really knows other than Keon, because he's such a professional.
Yeah.
And he won't badmouth anybody, but is he even wanting to be here? Like, let's be real. Like, I think he understands what he brings to the table. And is this a place that he really wants to be, where he's getting DMPs when he knows somewhere else he'll get it? Might not be 25 minutes a game, but he's going to consistently play every single game.
Right.
On a winning team. So.
Right. Well, they didn't show him the money. They had the opportunity. The Kings had the opportunity to show him the money before the season, and they held off. We'll see what happens, but that can't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other part I would criticize, the one thing about him is like the reaching fouls, man. Like, he reaches so much, especially when he gets frustrated. Yeah. He acts like a little kid, like throwing a temper tantrum. He just starts reaching. It's like, bro, like, you got to stop that, man. Like, you're a good enough defender. You don't need to do that. So, but again, that's about the least amount of, like, I do like him. I think he can impact the winning team. I just don't think it's enough of an impact on a team like this where you need to be holding on to him with dear life. It's just not. But again, like, I do think he should be getting more playing time. I think if this is the team that you're looking at, there's not a reason for him to get DMPs either. Like, you might as well play him. Right. So I don't know. It's one of those things where you always say, I wish there was a book that came out about it later I could read, because I really need to know, 30, it's not going to be a 30 for 30. It's probably a 15 for 15. But I need those 15 minutes to know what the hell was on their mind and going on during this period. So I don't know. It's one of those things. Because what do we always hear Doug say? Like, Doug's always preaching defense, defense, defense. So he's always preaching that Keon's like one of his best defenders. But then as soon as he says it, he DMPs the dude that next game. And it's like, you're kind of contradicting everything you're saying, which tells me either A, you're just bullshitting us, which, okay, now I know you're a bullshitter. But two, or somebody above you is telling you, shut the fuck up, you're not going to play him anyway.
Right.
And so now I don't even know if you're really the coach of this team, like, because somebody else is telling you what to do.
What to think, because what Doug says, like, it was making sense until it didn't anymore, and now it's like not adding up, and I'm just like, what is like, to be a fly on the wall behind the scenes to know what is going on.
Yeah, I need someone to leak the information, man. I think we should all do a GoFundMe, get enough money to find somebody to give the money to get the information.
There we go.
And just give it to us, though. Just give it to the Chatty House so we can be.
Yep, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We got no moral scruples over here. I'll do it. No big deal. Give us a little bit more viewership. It'll be like when Brown got fired. Just get all the viewership.
Pablo finds out.
There you go.
Manny find out.
Chatty House finds out.
We're on it.
Yeah. We'll plant the trees. There we go.
We'll remember to take the pictures.
This
Damn.
is crazy, man. I don't.
Well, tied at 88 to end the third.
That's the thing is like, and I know Boston isn't necessarily Boston without Tatum, but they're still a pretty good team. I think they're sitting there like
they're playing really well without him.
Yeah, they found a way to make it work out. Jalen's definitely stepped up. Derek White has stepped up. Hardaway, he's kind of ebbs and flows out of being great and good or bad, but he is what he is. I think everybody knew what he was. I don't think he was long for Boston anyway. I think it was a temporary fix. He'll probably get moved at some point. He's a good trade chip. But yeah, I think the good thing for them was that they're coming off a championship, or coming off a championship 2 years ago. Was it's pretty much the same core, so they know how to play with each other. They know what they're doing. Oh wow, Ole Miss just went up on Georgia. Lane Kiffin is sitting somewhere at a bar just throwing a temper tantrum. But yeah, it's one of those teams that, like I said, that they played together long enough where even with a big injury like that, they can at least still stay afloat, be a decent team. I don't think anybody has them winning a championship, right? Like that's probably not going to happen, especially as stacked as the West is. But
it sounds like Tatum's coming back. I know Eddie was talking about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was already doing workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that. I think we talked somewhat about it a little bit. I do think sometimes it's your job as an organization. It's your job as an organization to save a player from himself at times.
Right.
Kudos to him putting in the work and doing all. Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Kudos to him putting in the hard work, obviously, to get to back. He's obviously wants to play. He's training hard. He's working out hard. He's rehabbing hard. But that's hard, man, because I guess if you pass all the tests, the doctors clear him.
Right.
He shows he can play 5-on-5, and you're in the running, right? Let's say you're the 3 or 4 seed, like you're in the East.
Only if they have a chance. Only if they have a chance. Otherwise, sit your ass down. Like, you do not need to be risking it all.
No, you don't. But yeah, like you said, like if you're contending and everybody clears you, and you can't really tell them no either. Like it's hard. Like you're cleared by because you're cleared. You're showing that you're playing 5-on-5. No, you don't see any setbacks the next day, right? The soreness, the medical checks, then at that point, I do think at that point, even if you're kind of like cringing, you're like, all right, we're going to bring you back, but we're also going to not playing 34 minutes a game either. Right? You're playing 20 to 25 for now, and we'll go from there and see how this goes.
But in the meantime, they're looking pretty good.
They are.
Shout out Jesse.
Is he at
the game in the company seats? Is he at the game in the company seats?
I hope so. That's the least they could do. They're only in town once a year, sure.
Right.
It's like for me, when the Bulls come in town, it's like, all right, man, it's the one game, even if they suck. Both of them suck. I'm like, all right, I'll go, man, just because it's the Bulls versus the Kings. It's like, all right. That's
gotta see my guy Herter. Number 9.
9?
When do they come to Sacramento?
It's usually February or March. I think this year it's I think it's like March 5th or something like that, I think.
Yeah. That was about the same last year. Yeah.
Because they used to do it that West, because back in the day, they would do their West Coast trip during the circus. The circus would be in Chicago in February and March. So it's kind of like they called it the circus, the what they call it, like the circus tour, or the circus road trip, because the circus would be in town at the United Center. But now that doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know if they changed it because of that. But they usually do their West Coast trip during the February, March. So, that's probably the one guy I probably will go to. Like, I almost bought the tickets early, and then I was like, let me see how bad this team really is.
Hold off.
Like, it's 4 seats by then. Especially if they make all the trades. Like, all right. And the Bulls haven't been that good either. So they've kind of flip flopped. They started out hot, and then they went back to being themselves, and then they've won a couple games, and then they get blown out by a couple teams. They're literally the East Coast Kings. They are the East Coast. They are the Eastern Conference Kings. It's so frustrating to be fans of both teams because it's like literally, it's like a Twilight Zone, like an alternate universe. Like, what am I doing, man? As much as I love basketball,
like, tomorrow over here, and
and I do. I have a certain. I watch all the Bulls games too, and it's hard watching those games. It's hard watching them not develop their young players. Shocker. It's hard watching them hold on to players. Like, as much as I love Vooch, it's time to go. You're not impacting the winning here, no matter what numbers you're putting up. A la Sabonis, it's like, it's just, man, it's just hard to watch. And I like Giddey. Like, as much as he's had his issues off the court, he's a hell of a triple-double machine. So, and I like White. Oh, man, it's hard watching both these teams, man.
Yeah. Sports. When all your teams suck. I'm in a weird place this year with basketball and football.
That's funny. So
funny.
Well, it's funny to a lot of people outside of Kansas City fans. So
yeah.
You know, they've been hoping for this demise for. It's been coming though. I think even if you're a Chiefs fan, you are waiting for the ball to drop. Like, right, like at some point you can't win every one. This is what I say about the Bears this year, right? It's like they won 6 points in the last play. That's great. They couldn't pull it off against the Niners. That's fine. But I tell fellow Bear fans, that can be totally different next year. Those 6 games that you won could easily be losses, and now you're looking at being at the bottom of the standings again. So hopefully this team doesn't get complacent and they go out in the offseason, regardless of what their record is, regardless of what round they go out in, and still try to shore up the deficiencies that we know are there so that you don't have to be in being the heart attack team anymore, right? Because that's, the ball can bounce either way, and you can easily lose those 6 games and, again, be in the lottery again. So, But
she said it.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's one thing I say about the Bears. Like, if the Bears sucked this again this year, I'd be out of my mind right now. Because I wouldn't have nothing. Literally, there's no other Chicago teams doing anything. So this Saturday we have 2 divisions basically up for grabs, right? We have the Panthers versus the Bucks and the Seahawks versus the Niners, which are going to very, very much impact the seedings, playoff teams. With the Panthers and Bucks, it's basically, I believe, and somebody could tell me if I'm wrong, I think if the Panthers win, the Bucks are pretty much out of it. And the Panthers still, I think, need the Falcons to do something. But it's a whole big mess with that. But if the Bucks win, there's like still another scenario where they still need like Atlanta to lose or something else to happen. They're not necessarily the fate is totally in their own hands. But if the Panthers win, they definitely win the division, and they're in the playoffs for sure. With the Seahawks and the Niners, we pretty much have whoever wins is guaranteed the 1 seed, and then the dominoes fall everywhere from there, which is crazy because you could literally go from losing that game to being like a 6 or 7 seed, right? Which is crazy. But if you had to pick out of those 2 games, you have to pick winners. Who would you pick in those 2 games? So you got Panthers and Bucks and Seahawks and Niners.
Do I have to?
Yes.
I'll go Niners and Bucks.
Yeah.
But they're on they've lost what, 6 or 7 games?
Yeah, they're like 1-5 in the last 6. Since their bye week, I think they're 1-5 or something like that. Which is crazy. Like Baker,
they started out really well, right?
Yeah, Baker's they've had some big injuries too, which have affected them. But Baker also has kind of reverted back to bust Baker, where he's throwing these. And again, it could be because of the injuries and that too. He's kind of forcing the ball down the field. He's made a lot of mental mistakes, and it's cost them So they've definitely not been the Bucks we've been used to seeing the last couple of years. And with the Panthers, they're very like Panthers are either all in that game or all out. Like that's how their games have been. Like either Bryce Young has been lights out or he's just the lights have been off. But he's still a young player, and I do like what he's brought to the table. I'm going to take the Panthers in that game.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Niners and the Seahawks, I'm just going to be petty and take the Seahawks. Just to F with Kenny and the rest of the Niner fans. But no, even in that, like as well as the Niners have been playing, and especially their offense, their defense has been dog shit, even against the Bears. And so is the Bears defense. Don't get me wrong. I do not think the Bears defense has been doing anything either. But Seattle's been on a tear, and they've been doing their thing. And you could talk. People always want to bring up last year's playoffs with Darnold and all that, but like he's had some games this year where he was in the same position and he's flourished. So I know until he does it in the playoffs, nobody wants to hear that. But this is still the regular season, so he's performed in the regular season. So I expect him to perform this week in the regular season. So I see the Seahawks winning, and the Niners I think will be a 6 or 7, and it might be. I'm not sure if there's a possibility of. I think it'll have to be the next round, but I think the Bears can play the Niners again, which I would love to see that rematch.
Yeah,
we'll see, but it's going to be interesting after Saturday to see how that affects what teams do on Sunday. Like I know with Green Bay, they said even if Love is healthy, they're going to hold him out until the first round of the playoffs. They don't want to take any chances, and their seeding doesn't really change much, no matter whether they win or lose. So that makes sense. I think the Bears with Detroit, I think it's twofold for us. I think one, after being beat by like 60 points the first time, I think there's some needed, revenge. And also I think you don't want to go into they have momentum. Even against San Francisco, they played well offensively. I think you don't want to lose any momentum going into the playoffs either. So I think you go to win. You go to Detroit. It's a division game. You want to go out with a bang and go into the playoffs hot. So we'll see what happens with that. I hope the Eagles lose every game for the rest of their lives. Don't care. But I do think, and tell me if you think differently, but this is probably going to be one of the craziest years of playoff games ever. Because there's not one team where you're like, oh, yeah, they're the best team in the NFL. Like, there isn't. Like, any team, you're playing good that night, and you might send somebody home. So, like, I think if you're a team like – I think that's where Detroit kind of like – they got to be so frustrated because this is the one year where you're like, there's no juggernaut you got to go up against. Like, if you're hot, you're going to be the best team. It's like the Bears. Do I expect them to win a Super Bowl? Obviously not. Do I think they can make it to the Super Bowl? Not sure I can do with the current way the defense is playing that they can, but I wouldn't be surprised either just because, like I said, there's no dominant team. Like, anybody can win if you get hot. So if there's a year to take a chance, this is it.
Yeah.
So some of those teams I look at teams like Detroit, Buffalo. Right? Buffalo's still in it. But those are teams that have been trying to get over the hump the last couple of years that couldn't do it. This is a great year for them to get over the hump and win a Super Bowl. And unfortunately for Detroit, they're not even going to get a chance. But I had said it, man. They should have upgraded that quarterback position a long time ago. Goff isn't bad, but he's not a difference maker like that. So, but I do think Josh Allen and them, they're going to be in, and they're really going to be kicking themselves in the ass if they can't get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for real.
They really are because
especially with the Chiefs out.
Yeah, Chiefs, the Ravens.
Yeah,
come on. And he's supposed to be playing this. They're saying Lamar is supposed to be playing this week. So they're trying to ruin somebody's life. So, and I think that they're playing Pittsburgh. So I think they still have a chance to get in if they beat Pittsburgh. So I don't think they're actually out of it. So, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a game. Aaron Rodgers, go home, please.
Please.
Get so much joy out of that.
Back into his cave.
Go back to your cave, bro. Go back to your
darkness.
Non-vaccinated cave. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
By all means. It's going to like even this last week, I know it's not the playoffs, but I think it's going to be a fun weekend of football, and we'll finally see what the seedings are after that, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a wild ride through the playoffs.
It's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
I might tap in a little bit. I really
You might, just a little bit, a little bit. I think you might as well tap in for the next couple of years, girl, because I don't know. I think you guys are going to have to retool a bunch over there in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think Kelsey's 1 foot out. I don't know if that's true. Like, I know a lot of it's just been rumors.
A lot of rumors.
I also think, like, if you watch, he's a shell of what he was. And he has spurts where he's, the hands are there and all that. But, a lot of the other stuff is the separation, all that. Like, does not look good. And it happens with
Mahomes, too. His recovery, how his recovery goes, and when if he's gonna make it in time to be back for the start of the season. That's probably a major factor too. Because if he's not, then why?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go get married and to your Taylor Swift. And
I was waiting for like a baby news to happen. That would, like, if I heard anytime between now and then, like, he was having, like, I'm like, he's gone. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. Go be daddy. It's all good.
That's great. I froze right when I said that too.
So I'm sure a bunch of people are ahead of the time that I am, but right now I'm showing Boston up by 4 with 6.5 minutes left. I know I'm off on time. I'm always late, so
make that 6.
Okay, 6. There you go. And 1. Nice.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Oh no, was Keon fouling? Shocker. Okay, Keon.
Martha Stewart might be part of the wedding planning.
That'd be hilarious.
Okay.
Well, I would not be surprised if she has every top person in the world part of it.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Martha will probably bring Snoop.
Hell yeah. Those are like the funniest, like, best friends ever. Like, you would have never expected that.
There is something to be said. So maybe we'll have a full conversation on this another day, but I will plant the seed.
Okay.
There needs to be a full discussion on the evolution of Snoop Dogg from beginning to what he is now. Like, it is insane.
I'm here for it. Special edition.
We need to do that.
We're going to have a special edition.
We'll have to show what happened.
Oh, you know who should join us? Donnie.
That's true. I'll talk to him. He's been a busy man lately, but I've talked to him a couple of times or reached out. We've messaged a couple of times, but yeah, that's a good one. We definitely have to bring Donnie on board for that one.
That would be really cool.
Because there's no way anyone saw this.
Right. Grandpa
at the beginning of all this, like Mexican Snoop, Martha Snoop. Everything that this dude is insane.
Did you watch that cooking show that him and Martha had some years back? That was amazing. He
did a halftime show. What was that, last week? And that was phenomenal. Like, everything he does is gold. But anyway, we'll dive into that. We'll definitely dive into the Snoop Dogg phenomenon, as they call it.
I like it. We got to get some more music talk.
Yeah. Well, in saying that, let's do a little bit. I was going to say, before we get to like New Year's type stuff, do you have a favorite album of 2025 that you listen to, or a favorite movie? Obviously, I'm going to say Sinners.
You already know the one movie that I went to go see in the theater. It was so good. I saw it twice.
There you go.
It
was so nice. I saw it twice.
So nice. I saw it twice. But that, you already know, that's my answer. Album.
Yeah, we'll get into that too, Zebra. But even with all that, like, he still hasn't missed. Like, that's the thing. Like, he's the one person that did that and still hasn't missed a beat somehow. Like, I thought that would definitely be like, nope, nobody said shit. It was like, all right, cool. Still a man of the people somehow. Like, I don't know how, but yeah.
Man, Clips.
Okay,
I
the
keep
Clips
going back to
album.
the Clips because I use that track for the
Mhm.
highlight for our 1 year, and so I was listening to that on repeat. I don't know. There've been some good music
New
this year.
music, girl. I understand you're obsessed with him.
Yeah,
I get it.
of
You guys
course.
went to go
Yeah.
see him. I get
Yes.
it. For the amount of money y'all spent, you should say him every single time for the next 3
Second
years.
row Tasha. Second
Yeah.
row Tasha.
Wow.
Last night, not one Chris Brown song, and I manifested it to the DJ. Not one, but 2 Chris Brown songs back to back. So
No, he did not drop an album. I don't think he
no,
dropped
he
an album
didn't.
this year.
Mm.
But yeah, he had he was his photo gallery is legendary.
He dropped the Breezy Bowl. That's
There you go.
yeah.
So the Clips,
hmm
and it doesn't have to be hip hop. It's just something else that came out. Like that's cool too.
That's what I listen to. So
No, I get. I'm sure you listen to R&B too, and there's a couple. Yeah,
too. I don't know. I need to get back into. I like when you post like the new albums that are coming out. I gotta tap into that more to like listen to albums, start to finish more. Because I definitely like I have my playlists. I listen to Sirius XM a lot. So yeah, they're playing good music. But yeah, Chris Brown all year.
Well, shout out to Ruben. He posts every week what's coming out Friday, and that's what I repost. And then I usually go through his list, and at least, even if I don't know the artist, because he's in tap with a lot of artists that I would normally not even know about sometimes because I don't have time to look into it like that. But he's phenomenal. He's actually he's in the Bay. I think he's somewhere between Sacramento and San Francisco. Because sometimes I'll catch he'll post that he went to a concert in Sac. He'll come to Sac what's it called? What's the spot in Sac that always does a hip hop concerts, like the smaller venues? I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so shout out to him for always releasing that music or releasing the list. And then I'm trying to think this year. I think for me, so like I said, for the list, I'll try to listen to at least 2 to 3 songs each album. And if it doesn't catch me by that third song, I move on to the next one, and I might revisit it later. So for me, one of my favorite albums of the year was Kid. He's 23, 24 years old. His name is Ruben Vincent. He's already on his 5th album. He's a very much old school soul of hip hop. The album that came out this year is very much entrenched in the old school. Like you can listen to the album and hear his like ode to all the old school artists on it. Like you could feel that he's dope as hell. He's young as hell too. And there's another dude called Black Milk. He had a great album out. Neff had a great album out. And then the Nas and Mass Appeals, right? Because this was also the year of old school artists releasing stuff and showing that they still had it. Eric Sermon had an album out this year. The Clips. De La Soul dropped an album, Big L, which was so. Raekwon, Ghostface had an album out. Nas had a new album. So all the Mass Appeal and Nas basically spearheaded a drop of 6 or 7 albums by old school artists from Mass Appeal.
6 or 7.
6 or 7. So it was cool to see that. It was cool to see that someone still had it. I really enjoyed that De La album. It was a good ode to Dave, who had passed away. So it was a very emotional album. It was cool. Slick Rick had an album out, which I was a little bit disappointed in, but it wasn't horrible. I expected more out of him.
That's a good one. Exhibit.
Huh?
Exhibit
album was on point.
And that was a dope interview that Damon Kenny did.
Yes.
When that album dropped. That was one of the best interviews of the year.
It was. And if you haven't heard the album, I think it's called Chess Master. I forgot but it's a phenomenal album too. He has not lost a step. He is one of my older cats that I always thought he very underrated, even before he started doing the Pimp My Ride. He kind of went to that TV side, but he was with the Alcoholics for a long time. It was a very underground group. I love the Alcoholics. He was with them for a while, and then he went with Dre. he was doing stuff with Dre and them, and he always, to me, lyrically could hold his own with anybody.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that he was still had it. So yeah, it was a good. I thought it was a good year. I know I heard some people criticize this year of hip hop because I think they only look at the mainstream, so they're thinking about like, I'm not even sure he came out with an album this year, but they always look at the Little Nas X's, the little, everybody's little something nowadays. But there's so much great hip hop that came out that if you want to go and look for it,
Shout out Bob Brown.
Yep, that's it. It was the Ninth Wonder produced the Reuben Vincent. Ninth Wonder had an album out, so it was just a bunch of good hip hop this year. I thought it's in a. I personally think it's in a good place. It's like any other genre. You're gonna have artists that you think suck. You also have to realize the older we get, there's a younger generation that likes whatever they like. But it is what it is, you know. So on that.
Live now. Shh.
What happened?
My bad.
Huh?
People acting up.
Oh no.
Not respecting that we're
So
live.
do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
I have not like made a list, made any specifics for this year. It's been a rough one. But things are looking up. I think just like improvements here and there, you know, all the normal ones, eating a little bit better, being a little more, I mean, I'm active, but like, you know, getting in the gym more, things like that. But nothing too crazy. I think for me, it's more about like time for myself and like self-care and like doing some of the like creative things that like really like feed my soul that I just don't have time for in my crazy daily life. So I need to do things.
You got to make time for that. You got to, for your own mental health, you have to find time like that. Like the one good thing about like me and Sin is like she has her own friend group, right? Like she's out now. She went to one of her friends' house, took Ellie. They did they're doing like vision boards to have fun. It's like we neither one of us like. I'm like, hey man, I'm going out with Michigan on Friday. Cool, all right. Like I just go.
Yeah.
And I don't get a phone call. I don't get no like where
dope.
you're at. Like none of that. Like none of that. It's like, all right, when you get home, you get home. Now it's like 2 a.m. Yeah, she's gonna call me like, are you all right? Are you cool? Because it's like your ass don't be staying out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
running the streets.
Yeah. So I would not 2 a.m. I don't know where Michigan might take me. So I would make sure you might try to roofie my drink or something.
Make sure it's not on a Sunday. Never go out with Michigan.
Wake up with a Mike Tyson tattoo on my eye and my asshole hurting. Like, nope, not gonna do it. Not doing it. But like that's the one good thing. Like we don't even like think about it. Like she's home, like she goes out. She went. I forgot what she went out last week. She's like, oh, she was talking about coming home early, but she didn't. But I was like, just me and Ellie chilling at home. When she got home, she got home. It's like I think I texted her one time to say, hey, but you good? Yeah, I'm good. We're over here. Blah blah. Cool. All right, that's it. I ain't worried about nothing else, man. So
that's dope.
So we both realized, like we both recognize you need that, whatever it is. It might even be like, hey, we just finished dinner. I'm gonna go to the room and do something. Cool. All right. Like you ain't gonna tell me it's cool. Just go do what you do. Like it's that personal space. Do what you got to do to feed your soul type stuff, right? So
I just looked at the score. Like let's just keep talking. I don't.
She got me in. So it's my next book I'm reading.
Oh, that's dope.
This is my favorite person. This is probably one of my top 2 favorite people ever. He very much, I think, as a child, influenced my sense of humor. I just always thought he was like the greatest thing, like most improviser. Like I can't. And then when you hear the stories after he passed, like he was dealing with a lot of demons. It's like, well, look how his mind worked. Like his mind was insane.
Right.
Like he just did everything off the top of his dome. Like it was insane how creative he was.
Yeah. Some of the most creative, some of the funniest people out there like are dealing with
struggling
crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. They struggle. Yeah. Like, man. So I'm looking forward to reading that book. That's my next book that I'm reading. And I love everything about Robin Williams. So I'm really you want to be tapped in with that.
That's a good one. Reading.
Yeah, I love
Definitely.
reading.
I
That's a big,
love books,
yeah,
but can I make time to like
that's
shut
it.
everything off and
Yeah.
spend an hour reading? No.
It's
Like
hard, yeah.
my oldest son he has such a love for books and he does it. And I love that for him, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one thing we're glad that that Ellie picked up from us. She loves reading. We got Santa Claus got her a Kindle, so she now has, we'll get her the account set up and she could just find books to read and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
yeah, we highly encourage, and glad she picked up on that, the love of reading from both of us. So Sin's a lot better than I am. I've read more in the past than I did, but it's one of my things I said for this one because I have aspirations to write a book. So I've kind of had a mental block on some of the stuff I want to write, and I've geared more towards that. So that's one of my New Year resolutions this year is to read a little bit more to get the creative juices flowing, so I can start writing, at least start writing the book. I think a good book takes a couple of years to write sometimes, and maybe it will, but I would like at least by the end of this year have most of the book written and be able to like start looking for publishing and stuff like that. So I have a couple ideas in my head. I'm hoping that by reading, it sparks a little bit more of the creativity for that. So
what subject or type of?
So I have two. One, I have a children's book that I want to write because I have the characters already, because Ellie created these characters when she was little.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I'm gonna try to get her to collab with me on that one. And then the other one I want to it's not a biography in any sense, but it's a semi where I use some of my life as being because my stepfather basically raised me since the age of 7. My real father had been around, but it was really my stepfather that raised me for the most part. So it's a book about that. But I'm gonna create a character and put them in that scenario. And so it's more about him growing up and dealing with the mental aspects of dealing with your anger, dealing with your disappointment, and how to, because I know as a child I was angry because of that, but I didn't even realize it as much until I was an adult and had to find ways to deal with it. So just a like of a little adventurous type book, but some of it's semi-based in my own life. So that's going to probably take a little bit more, I think, mentally and emotionally to deal with, but I'm looking forward to using it also as some kind of therapy, right? Like it's therapeutic to get those emotions out, to get those feelings out of being in those situations. So
that's very cool.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, I guess we lose this game, huh? 120 to 106. But they were in it.
They were most of the game.
Most of the game. I literally looked down when it was tied. I looked up and they were down 10. And I'm like, all right. I feel like they do that, right? Like I feel like So here's the thing. And since the game's ending, we could talk a little bit about this game. And I think this game is very indicative of what we've seen a lot of games this year where they're in it, right? They're in it. Yeah, it might go back and forth, 6-0, 6 tied, down 5, tied again. And then there's this 4 to 5 minutes where nothing goes right. They can't make a basket. They can't make a basket, can't play any defense. And the next thing you know, they're down 15.
Like they forget how to play basketball. Like nothing works.
Nothing. And the longer, again, you can tell me what you think about this. The longer that period of time, right? I'm going to give an example time. It's a 5-minute time frame between the time that they're tied and they're down 15, right? And in that process of those 5 minutes, what you see happen is it's not just them not being able to hit a shot or play defense. They play worse and worse. And the most so it's not just, hey, I couldn't hit a shot. It's you're taking worse shots. You're turning over the ball more. You're not getting back on defense even more. You're leaving guys even more. defensive schemes are breaking down even worse. So it's like, it's not just, oh, I couldn't hit a shot. It's you can't hit a shot because you keep taking worse shot after worse shot after, and you keep compiling instead of like grounding yourself and saying, okay, yeah, we're not hitting shots, but let's not work the ball inside. Let's get an extra pass around the perimeter to get a guy. No, we're just going to come down, jack it up a shot, or throw a bad pass, or do this. So it's just piles after piles. And you would think that having such a veteran-laden team, for the most part, that would not happen, but they feel more like rookies. Right.
Or like, I hate to say it, but like from the coaching side, like the choices that are made in that time, that 4 or 5 minutes, like, wait, why is he on the bench when he was just cooking? Or like, that's your guy to like seal the deal. Like, why is DeMar on the bench? Like, he was just cooking, like he can get fouled. Like,
that too.
It doesn't add up.
And so that's the part right there that you just said. And maybe we'll talk about it more in the next episode. And we'll have David back and we can, make it more of a roundtable. Thing is, when I see that, I only have two thoughts that I possibly think could be happening. One, it's just Doug being a rookie coach and he's trying to find the right. Or there's something else involved where it's like, we're not even trying to actively win the game, so who cares? Right.
So like, it's time. So everyone just.
Yeah. And I'm not sure because I don't know what kind of discussions go on between Doug and management. Yeah. It's hard for me to believe, as much as I don't know him personally, but as much as I've seen of Doug over the years, I don't personally see him as a person that would want to throw games or like not care about winning. But at the same time, if Perry's like, you want to keep your job, just keep playing the young guys, keep playing, then I can't knock him for doing that too, because he's also trying to keep a job, because there's no other head coaching job coming down the line for him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, for real. Right.
If this doesn't work, it'll be a miracle if down. I'm not saying he can't if he works his way, but he's probably talking about another 5 to 6 years of assisting somewhere where he might get a chance to do the same thing, take over for a fired coach at some point, and hopefully he can make those players better, right? So it's the ever, unless you're an established coach, it is hard for you to ever catch on unless some miracle happens and keep getting continuous head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I have a hard time seeing Doug like being cool with that. But like you said, like to keep his job, that might have to be what he has to do. He has to buy into whatever this plan is. And you know what I mean? Like, they all know the plan behind the scenes and this is what we're doing. But just like, I don't see Doug doing that. I don't see a majority of these players, especially the veteran guys, like being cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that may be the answer for some of this, the lack of consistency that we've been seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the $1 million question, right? Like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And I'm looking on the screen now. I see Dusamo on there. Shout out to Dusamo every night doing night chat. I don't get to see all of them all the time because sometimes they're on really, really late.
Really late, yeah.
But whether people want to agree with them or not, I don't pay attention to the actual chat in there because they're all bonkers in there. If you thought the Chatty House was crazy,
exactly.
Yeah, they take it to another level.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't deal with them because most of them are just idiotic. I try not to mean that in the worst terms, but they can be so negative. But those two, they put on a show. They'll make you laugh. Mm-hmm. They're very knowledgeable about what they're talking about too. So I give them props for what they're actually talking about. But they also try to be as positive as you can be with this team. So kudos to them because they've been doing it for years. I can't imagine wanting to go on. I'm sure there's plenty of nights where they're like, I really wish we didn't have to do this, but they're committed. They love what they do. And I think they're great at what they do. And I love them to death. And they're so down to earth. So kudos to Dusamo. You guys are great. I appreciate everything you do for this fan base because God knows, I know there's got to be nights where you're like, you just want to throw everything up and just go drink. So, but another loss, 120-106. They said it was tied 88 at the start of the fourth. So they were fighting, obviously, which is great. But again,
I think they were still in it like halfway through the fourth. Like
yeah, that too. Yeah,
that
it
4 or 5 minutes.
it really wasn't out of reach until like 2 minutes left, I think. So
Mhm.
like in grand scheme of things, like they were in it way into the game. It
Yeah.
just still always goes back to that 5-minute increments and that just other teams finding ways to win and them finding ways to lose. It's the best
Mhm.
way. So
Yep.
I don't know. I think we're going to be talking like this for a long time until some moves get made. And then if everything really, can you imagine though, if by trade deadline, like if they do some miracle, move all these guys and we're basically have a Stockton Kings team, there's going to be some brutal shows even doing that. And then, we'll be kind of
But watch their winning.
Huh? Oh, that would be
That'd be
hilarious.
crazy. Watch their winning. We're
That
like,
would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Oh.
I don't expect it, but that would be hilarious. So we appreciate y'all joining us on a New Year's
Absolutely.
edition. We didn't come, like I said, last week was Christmas Eve. So, let's do family time, enjoy time with family. Hopefully everybody had a great Christmas. Hopefully everybody was safe and had a great New Year's Eve yesterday. We'll be back next Wednesday at our normal time, 8 p.m. every Wednesday. Hopefully Dave will be back. Hopefully everybody's good. And we'll see you next week.
all right.
Peace.
Chatty House. We ballin', boy. We going up at the Chatty House. We talk about it all, bring the family out. Sub to the channel, hit the likes now. And we only going up when the lights down. Yeah, we just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party. We just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party.